Elias was a simple man. He never carried a gun, never wore armor, and never wanted to fight. While others in the galaxy earned glory through war and conquest, Elias chose a quieter path, that of a messenger. He carried words, not weapons. His ship was small, old and slow, but it carried the most valuable thing in the universe: peace. After the long galactic war between humans and the Zirath Dominion, millions of lives had been lost. Planets burned, cities turned to ash. The stars themselves seemed tired, but when the fighting finally stopped, someone needed to rebuild the broken bridges between species. Someone needed to carry letters of apology, hope, and forgiveness. Elias became that man. He had started as a low-ranking clerk in the Human Diplomatic Corps, sorting messages and reports. But when the war ended, he volunteered for field work. It was not bravery that pushed him, and it was guilt. His brother had been a soldier who never returned. His father had been a builder who died during an alien attack. Elias couldn't save them, but maybe, just maybe, he could save others by carrying messages that stopped more killing. Every time he delivered a letter or treaty, he felt a little lighter, a little more human. His missions took him to strange worlds, icy moons, glowing jungles, and metallic cities that floated in the void. Most aliens saw him as a curiosity, a small and fragile creature who dared to travel alone through a galaxy that once hated his kind. Some laughed at him, some respected him, some pitied him, but none truly understood him, until one day his ship received a sealed order from the Human Council. It was marked urgent and classified, his new destination the homeworld of the Zirath Queen herself. The name made his heart skip a beat. The Zirath, tall, insect-like beings covered in shimmering chitin, were once humanity's greatest enemies. Their queen Sarathkal was said to be merciless and proud. She commanded fleets that destroyed entire human colonies during the war. The thought of standing before her made Elias's hands tremble. Still, he accepted the task. Messengers did not question their duty. They simply delivered. His journey took 7 days through empty space. As the Zirath homeworld came into view, his heart pounded. The planet glowed with a purple hue, surrounded by silver defense rings and massive battleships that looked like floating fortresses. His small shuttle was nothing compared to their power. Yet when he sent his diplomatic code, the defense system stood down. A cold mechanical voice granted him permission to land. The surface of the planet was both beautiful and frightening. Huge crystal towers rose like spears into the misty sky. Rivers of light flowed through dark valleys. The air shimmered with energy. When he stepped out of his ship, 2 tall Zirath guards approached him. Their movements were precise, their eyes bright with curiosity and caution. Without a word, they guided him toward the palace, a structure so vast it seemed to swallow the horizon. Elias walked through long halls filled with humming light and alien symbols. The air was warm, heavy with a sweet scent that reminded him of old earth flowers. He tried to calm his breathing, repeating to himself that he was only a messenger. He was not here to fight, not here to judge. Just deliver the message and go home. Finally, the guard stopped at a great set of doors made of glowing crystal. They opened slowly, revealing a vast chamber. In the center sat the queen of the Zirath, Sarathkal. She was unlike anything Elias had imagined. Her form was tall and elegant, her armor-like skin reflecting the light like liquid glass. 4 eyes glowed softly with intelligence and sadness. Her wings, folded behind her, looked like woven light. When Elias entered, he felt small, almost invisible. Still, he took a deep breath and bowed respectfully. "Your Majesty," he said, his voice steady but low. "I come as a representative of the Human Council. I bring a message of peace." The queen did not speak immediately. She watched him, silent and still. Her gaze was heavy, as if she could see through his skin, through his bones, deep into his heart. Elias felt a strange chill, not of fear, but of something he couldn't explain, like being remembered by someone he never met. "Approach, human," she said at last, her voice smooth and deep, vibrating through the chamber walls. Elias walked forward slowly and handed her the sealed holographic capsule. She took it gently, her long fingers moving with care. For a few moments, neither spoke. The air felt thick, alive. Then she activated the message. A beam of blue light projected words and symbols into the air, words written in both human and Zirath languages. As she read, Elias stood silently waiting. But as the seconds passed, he noticed her expression change. Her calm eyes flickered. Her hands trembled slightly. When the message ended, a strange silence filled the hall. The Queen turned her gaze back to Elias. Something deep and personal shone in her eyes. "You are the one who brought this?" she asked, her tone softer now. "Yes, Your Majesty," Elias replied. "I am only a messenger. My duty is to deliver and return." The Queen's eyes narrowed, not in anger but in thought. "Only a messenger," she repeated, almost whispering to herself. Then, unexpectedly, she stood from her throne. The motion was graceful but powerful enough to make the ground vibrate. She stepped closer to him until he could see the faint shimmer of light around her eyes. Tears, or something like them. When she spoke again, her voice carried emotion that no translation device could hide. "You cannot leave," she said. Elias froze, staring at her in disbelief. "Your Majesty?" he said, his voice almost breaking. "I've delivered the message. My mission is done." The Queen looked at him with a sorrowful expression. "No, human messenger," she said softly. "Your mission has only begun." And in that moment, Elias felt it. The shift of fate, the weight of something vast and hidden. He didn't yet know it, but this meeting would change everything. For her, for him, for the future of both their kinds. Elias could not believe what he had just heard. The Queen's voice echoed through the crystal chamber, calm yet heavy with meaning. "You cannot leave," she had said. The words sank deep into his chest like stones dropped into still water. He looked around. The guards stood motionless, waiting for the Queen's next command. The silence was thick. Only the faint hum of the glowing walls could be heard. Elias tried to speak, but his throat felt dry. "Your Majesty," he began softly, "I don't understand. My mission was only to deliver the message from the Human Council. I've done that. Please allow me to return." The Queen tilted her head slightly, studying him with her glowing violet eyes. Her expression was unreadable, but there was something behind it. Something that looked almost human. "Sorrow, maybe. Do you even know what message you have brought, human?" she asked. Elias frowned. "I was told it was a standard diplomatic communication, a peace renewal document." He hesitated, then added carefully, "I don't know what was written inside. My orders forbid me from reading it." A long silence followed. The Queen's eyes softened as if she pitied him. "You speak truth," she said finally. "You are innocent. Yet this message is not what you think." She turned away, walking toward a wide window made of living crystal. Outside, Elias saw the golden sky of the Zirath world, streaks of light moving like rivers in the air. Giant winged creatures glided across the horizon, their shadows sliding over shining towers. It should have been a beautiful sight, but all Elias could feel was confusion. The Queen stood tall and proud, her wings shimmering faintly. "Do you know what your kind once did to mine?" she asked, still facing the window. "Do you know how many of my people died before peace was signed?" Elias lowered his head. "I've read the records, Your Majesty. I know the war was terrible. On both sides. It was more than terrible," she said quietly. "It was endless pain." She turned to him again, her eyes glistening faintly. "And yet one human changed that." "One woman," Elias blinked in surprise. "A woman?" "Yes," the Queen said, her voice soft but full of emotion. Her name was Dr. Lyra Kane. She was a scientist, not a soldier. "During the darkest days of the war, when my people were dying from a disease no cure could stop, she came to us. She came alone, knowing she might die. She said she would help us, even if it meant betraying her own kind." Elias stared at her, unsure what to say. He had heard the name before. Lyra Kane, a human biologist who had once worked for the Galactic Research Division. History remembered her as a war casualty, nothing more. He never imagined her story had reached the Zirath throne itself. The Queen continued, her tone almost wistful. "She worked for months in my palace, side by side with our healers. When others saw only enemies, she saw living beings who deserved life. Her heart was strong. She found a cure, but it cost her everything." Her eyes lowered. "When she gave us the cure, she had already been infected. She never told us until it was too late. She saved millions of Zirath, and died here on this world." The chamber was silent. Elias felt a deep ache in his chest. The image of this unknown woman, giving her life for alien lives, filled him with both pride and grief. She must have been incredible, he said softly. The Queen nodded. She was. "She told me that humans are capable of great cruelty, but also of great love. I never forgot her words. I buried her with honor in our royal garden. Elias felt the air grow heavier around him. He still didn't understand why she was telling him this. He looked up at her carefully. Your Majesty, I'm sorry for your loss, but why are you telling me this story? What does it have to do with me? For the first time, the Queen's composure faltered. She stepped closer to him, her luminous eyes searching his face. Because the message you brought, she whispered, came from her. Elias froze. What? His voice cracked in disbelief. That's impossible. Dr. Lyra Kane died years ago. The Queen raised a hand and a faint blue light surrounded the holographic capsule Elias had delivered earlier. It rose into the air, spinning gently before them. The message contains her signature code, the Queen said. It was written by her before her death, and sealed with her personal DNA marker. Elias's breath caught. But that means... He couldn't finish his sentence. His mind was spinning. How could a message from a dead woman be delivered now after so many years? The Queen looked at him with strange intensity. When your council sent this message, they thought it was just another diplomatic artifact, something written by their scientists before the war ended. But to me, it was her voice returned from the grave. Elias's heart pounded. He took a small step forward. What did it say? The Queen hesitated. It was not written for the council. It was written for me, and for you. Her words made his skin crawl with confusion. For me? He repeated. Why me? The Queen studied his face again. His brown eyes, his quiet expression, the way his hands trembled slightly. Then she spoke with a voice heavy with emotion. Because you are not just a messenger, Elias, you are her son. The world seemed to stop. Elias couldn't breathe. His thoughts scattered like glass falling onto stone. He shook his head slowly. No, that's not possible. My mother, she died when I was a child. The record said she was lost in the war. The Queen lowered her gaze, her voice soft and full of sorrow. The records lied. She lived here among us, and before she died, she told me to find you, if you ever came. Elias stood frozen, tears forming in his eyes, the truth too big to hold. The Queen of the Zerath, the most powerful alien in the galaxy, was looking at him not as an envoy, but as the child of the woman who had saved her people. And now, for the first time, Elias understood why she had said he could not leave. Elias's knees weakened. His mind raced and stumbled over every memory of his childhood. Small flashes of warmth, laughter, and the few moments he remembered with his mother came to him. Her smile, the soft hum of her voice, the way she held him close before sending him away to safety. He had always thought those memories were fragments, meaningless and fading. Now they felt like clues to a puzzle he had spent years trying to solve. The Queen's eyes held his gaze unwavering. Do you understand, Elias? This is why you are here. You are not a mere messenger. You are the last living connection to her. Elias shook his head slowly, tears forming at the corners of his eyes. I don't know what to say. My mother, she died when I was a baby. How could she have sent this message? And why now? Sarathkal's glowing wings rustled softly, a sound almost like a sigh. She gestured toward the holographic capsule floating between them. Its soft blue light pulsed as if alive. Her message was meant to reach you when the time was right. She knew the galaxy would still be fractured, and she knew her child would one day stand in my palace as a human messenger. She planned this even from beyond her life. Elias swallowed hard, trying to grasp the impossible truth. The weight of it pressed on him, both terrifying and beautiful. A part of him wanted to run, to escape this overwhelming revelation. Another part, the deepest part of his soul, wanted to stay, to understand, to connect. Why me? He whispered. The Queen took a slow, deliberate step closer. Her eyes softened. Because, Elias, she trusted you. She trusted that her son would carry the same heart she had. A heart that could heal, not destroy. That could bring peace, not war. That is why you were chosen to deliver this final message. Elias's fingers brushed against the capsule, as if touching it would make all of this real. And in a way it did. The light flickered across his face, illuminating the shock, awe, and rising determination in his eyes. But she's gone. I never even knew her. How can I honor her? The Queen's voice trembled ever so slightly, a sound human ears would have called grief. She lived through her love for you, Elias. Every sacrifice she made was for the future she hoped you would carry forward. Her words, her life, and this message, All are hers, reaching through time, telling you that the galaxy still has hope. That peace is still possible. Elias blinked, trying to hold back tears. I feel so small. I'm just a man who carries messages. I'm not a hero. I'm not a soldier. How could she have seen anything special in me? The Queen stepped closer until he could feel the soft shimmer of her presence. Do you think greatness is only found in battles or victories? No, Elias. It is in hearts that choose kindness when destruction surrounds them. It is in those who choose to carry truth even when it is heavy and dangerous. That is why she believed in you. Elias felt a lump in his throat. The burden of being her son, her legacy, pressed down on him. But it was not only a burden. It was a calling. A call to be more than just a messenger. To carry the light of humanity into the dark corners of the universe as his mother once had. Then, I have to read it, he said finally, his voice trembling but resolute. I need to know what she wanted to tell me. The Queen nodded. Yes, but beware, Elias, her words are more than instructions. They are her heart speaking across time, and they will demand that you feel everything she felt. Prepare yourself. Elias took a deep breath and touched the capsule. A flood of holographic light erupted, forming a delicate image of his mother. Her features were clear, her eyes warm and alive. She looked at him, not as a stranger, not as a ghost, but as a mother speaking to her son after decades of silence. Elias. Her voice resonated softly, echoing in the chamber like a gentle wind. If you are seeing this, it means I did not live to guide you in the world. But know this, I chose you to carry hope. I chose you to show humanity's heart to those who do not yet understand it. You are my son, and you are my last message. Elias's breath caught. Tears streamed freely down his face. His hands shook as the image moved, forming gestures of comfort and strength. He felt an overwhelming wave of love, fierce, protective, and eternal, wash over him. For the first time in his life, he understood the power of his mother's sacrifice. The Queen placed her massive hand gently on his shoulder. She trusted you, Elias, and so do I. Your mission is not just a delivery of words. It is a continuation of her legacy. Elias looked up at her, wiping his tears. His heart was heavy, but it was alive with purpose. I will do it, he whispered. I will carry her message. I will honor her. I promise. Sarathkal's eyes shimmered with a strange light, almost like tears, and she nodded. Then stay for now. Learn what you must. The universe is watching, Elias, and the path before you will not be easy. But know this, you are not alone. Not while I stand here, and not while her memory lives. Elias swallowed hard, feeling the truth in her words. He was just a messenger. But now he was a messenger with a purpose greater than any mission he had ever imagined. He was the living bridge between humans and Zirath, between the past and the future. And somewhere deep in his chest, he felt the spark of courage his mother had left behind in him. For the first time, he understood that being human was not about strength in battle. It was about love, sacrifice, and the courage to face impossible truths. And in that realization, Elias Kane, the simple messenger, began to become something far greater. Elias could not sleep that night. His small room in the Zirath Palace was quiet, but his mind was alive with questions, memories, and emotions he had never felt before. He kept seeing the image of his mother, her warm eyes, her soft smile, and the gentle strength in her voice as she spoke to him through the message. For years he had wondered if she had truly loved him, if she had wanted him safe. Now he knew she had, and the truth both comforted and terrified him. In the morning, the Queen appeared at his door. Her presence filled the room immediately, making him feel small yet protected. It is time, she said softly. Time for you to understand the truth of her life, and of your own. Elias nodded, swallowing hard. I am ready, Your Majesty. She led him through the halls of the palace, past gardens that glowed faintly under the alien sky, and into a chamber he had not seen before. It was circular, with walls covered in shimmering murals that depicted history, battles, healings, and moments of compassion between humans and Zirath. In the center of the room, a pedestal held a small crystal container. Elias recognized it immediately. It was the capsule he had delivered. This is where she worked, the Queen explained. Dr. Lyra Kane spent her final days here. She healed my people. She taught us your science. She gave us hope when all seemed lost. Her voice softened, and she left a part of herself here, for you to find. Elias stepped forward, touching the container gently. The light inside shimmered, and suddenly images and sounds filled the room. He saw his mother walking through the gardens, studying alien plants, speaking to Sirath children, and comforting those who were sick. He saw her laughter, her tears, her determination. Every moment was a piece of the mother he had never known, yet somehow always longed for. I don't know what to say, Elias whispered, tears streaming down his face. She was amazing. She gave everything for them. The Queen nodded. Yes, she did. And she believed in you, Elias. She believed you would carry her work forward even if you did not understand it yet. That is why I cannot let you go just yet. Not until you understand the depth of her sacrifice and the role you are meant to play. Elias's heart raced. He felt a mixture of awe, fear, and pride. Role, what do you mean? Sarathkal motioned for him to sit. She trusted me with her last wish, that if her child ever returned to this galaxy, he would be guided. You are that child. You carry her blood, her mind, and her heart. You are not just a messenger of words. You are a messenger of hope. The weight of her words pressed on Elias. For so long he had thought his life was small, meaningless. He had been a simple courier, traveling between worlds, delivering messages that seemed to matter little in the grand scheme of the universe. But now he realized that his life had always carried a purpose, even if he did not know it. Me, a messenger of hope? He said softly, almost in disbelief. I'm just a man. I don't have powers. I've never fought in battles. I've never led armies. I'm ordinary. The Queen's eyes softened. Greatness is not measured by firepower or titles, Elias. It is measured by the courage to act when the world demands it, by the heart that chooses compassion over hatred. Your mother had that courage, and so do you. That is why she trusted you to deliver her message, not just of peace, but of understanding between our peoples. Elias nodded slowly, letting the words sink in. The truth was powerful. He felt the strength of his mother's legacy flowing through him, as if her courage and love were a flame burning inside his chest, and for the first time in his life he felt like he had a reason to exist beyond himself. The Queen guided him further into the chamber, showing him the hidden rooms where humans and Sirath had once worked together. Shelves were lined with strange plants, medical tools, and alien artifacts. Every object told a story of collaboration, of sacrifice, and of shared hope. Elias could feel the energy in the air, the spirit of his mother lingering, teaching him even now. You must understand, the Queen said, her voice almost trembling with emotion, that the peace we enjoy today is fragile. It could be lost if the right words are not spoken, if the right actions are not taken. That is why you must learn, Elias. You must carry her heart and her wisdom into the world, and ensure that humans and Sirath can never forget the gift of trust and compassion. Elias felt tears roll down his cheeks. The weight of responsibility was immense, but it did not frighten him. For the first time, he felt that he was not alone. His mother's spirit was with him. The Queen was with him. And for the first time, he understood the true meaning of being human. To love, to hope, and to carry that hope across the stars. I will do it, he said finally, his voice firm and steady. I will learn. I will carry her message. I will honor her sacrifice. I promise. The Queen's eyes shimmered like molten violet. Then your journey begins, Elias. Not as a simple messenger, but as the bridge between our worlds. You will face trials, you will feel fear, and you will be tested. But I believe in you, and so does she. Elias looked around the chamber once more, the holographic images of his mother, the gardens, the tools, the murals. They were no longer just memories of the past. They were a guide, a path, and a promise, and in that moment he felt a new fire ignite inside him, a fire that would carry him forward into the unknown, armed not with weapons but with courage, compassion, and the heart of a human who refused to give up. And so, in the quiet, glowing chamber of the Sirath Palace, Elias Kane, once a simple messenger, began to understand that his life had always been destined for something greater, something that could change not just worlds, but the very future of the galaxy itself. Elias could feel the weight of the Queen's gaze, even from across the chamber. Since learning the truth about his mother, every step he took, every breath he drew felt heavier. He had spent the past days learning about the legacy she left behind, the gardens she had tended, the cures she had crafted, and the trust she had built between humans and Sirath. And yet, even with all of that knowledge, one question remained, burning inside him like a star too close to the sun. Why could he not leave? Your Majesty, he finally said, his voice trembling despite the resolve he had felt earlier. I understand now. I understand the message, my mother, my duty. But I am still a human. I belong with my people. I was sent as a messenger. My mission is to return. Please tell me why you are keeping me here. The queen remained silent for a long moment. Her wings moved slightly, creating a soft hum that filled the room. Then she stepped closer, her towering presence both intimidating and strangely comforting. Do you really want the truth, Elias? She asked softly, but with the weight of inevitability. Elias nodded, his heart pounding. I need to know. Please, Your Majesty. Sarath Kal's eyes glimmered, a mixture of sorrow, fear, and something else he could not name. It is not because I do not trust humans, she began, her voice low. It is not because I seek power over your kind. It is because you are the key to the future of both our peoples, and without you that future is lost. Elias frowned. I don't understand. I am just a man. I deliver messages. How could I possibly hold the future of two civilizations? The queen's wings rustled, sending a faint cascade of light across the chamber. Your mother left more than words for you. She left a secret, one that no human and no Zirath could have known until now. When she created the cure for my people's plague, she also encoded a genetic blueprint. It is hidden within her DNA, and you carry it. Elias froze. What do you mean? The blueprint is not a weapon, the queen said quickly as if reading his fear. It is a gift that could save lives, prevent future wars, and allow humans and Zirath to thrive together. But only if it is nurtured correctly, only if it is understood. That is why you cannot leave. You are more than her son. You are the living vessel of her vision, the bridge between our species. Elias's mind reeled. He had always felt ordinary, powerless, just a simple messenger traveling between worlds, and now he was being told that his very blood contained the hope of an entire galaxy. The realization terrified him. You want me to stay here? To carry this gift? He whispered. The queen nodded, her massive eyes softening with compassion. Not because I wish to hold you prisoner, Elias. Not because I desire control. But because without guidance, without understanding, the gift could be lost or misused. Humans are capable of incredible courage and incredible mistakes. My people are the same. Your mother knew that. She entrusted me to protect you, and to ensure that what she created would not be wasted. Elias's hands shook. The weight of the revelation pressed down on him like a mountain. He had always thought of his life as small, meaningless, even invisible, and now, everything he had believed about himself was being rewritten. He was no longer just a messenger. He was a living testament to his mother's sacrifice, and the fate of countless beings rested in his choices. Why me? He asked, tears welling in his eyes. Why didn't she just leave the world to decide on its own? Why did she choose me? The queen's voice was almost a whisper now, yet it carried across the chamber like thunder, because she knew you would listen. Because she knew that despite your fears, despite your doubts, you would choose what is right. Humans are stubborn, foolish, sometimes cruel, but they are also capable of hope, love, and sacrifice. She believed that her son, Yugan, would embody that hope. Elias felt the truth in her words. Every memory of his mother, every story the queen had shown him, every lesson about compassion and courage, now made sense. He was not alone. He was not powerless. He carried something far greater than a message in his hands, far greater than anything he could have imagined. The queen took a deep breath and stepped even closer, her glowing eyes locking with his. That is why I cannot let you leave, Elias Kane, not yet. You are not only the messenger of peace, you are the keeper of her legacy, the guardian of hope. If you go without understanding, without preparing, the gift could be lost, and with it, everything she sacrificed her life for. Elias sank to his knees, the weight of her words pressing him to the ground. Tears streamed freely now, not from fear but from understanding. The love of his mother, the responsibility of his bloodline, and the trust of an entire alien civilization bore down on him all at once. It was terrifying, and it was beautiful. I understand, he whispered finally, his voice broken but determined. I will stay. I will learn. I will carry her gift. I promise. I won't fail her, or you, or them. The queen's wings shimmered faintly, and a soft hum of light filled the chamber. For the first time, Elias felt not just fear or burden, but purpose. His life was no longer ordinary. He was no longer a simple messenger. He was the living bridge between humans and Zirath. between past sacrifices and the hope of a better future. And in that moment, the galaxy itself seemed to breathe with him, holding its hope in the hands of a human who had finally realized the true power of being human. Courage, compassion, and the unbreakable bond of love that could transcend worlds. The alien city. The light of the twin moons shimmered across the towers, reflecting in the rivers of energy that ran between the crystal spires. For the first time, he felt a strange calm within the storm of his thoughts. He was no longer just a messenger. He was a son, a keeper of a promise and the bridge between two civilizations. The Queen appeared beside him silently. Her presence was immense yet strangely comforting. "You have learned much in these days, Elias," she said softly. "Do you understand now what your mother left behind? What she gave you and through you all of us?" Elias nodded slowly, the weight of responsibility settling firmly in his chest. "I understand, Your Majesty," he said. "She gave more than a cure. She gave hope. She gave trust. And she gave me the chance to make things right, to carry her vision forward." Sarathkal's glowing eyes softened. "Then your journey truly begins. Not as a child of humans, not as a simple messenger, but as the legacy of both her and your people. You carry their courage, their love, and their compassion, and that is more powerful than any weapon." Elias clenched his fists, feeling the truth of her words resonate deep inside him. The memories of his mother, the lessons she had left behind, the sacrifices she had made, all of them merged into a single purpose. He could feel her presence guiding him, whispering courage into his heart. "I was afraid," he admitted, voice barely above a whisper. "I was afraid I was too small, too ordinary. I thought I could only carry letters, not hope. But now I know. Now I see what she believed in me." "What you believe in me?" The Queen nodded. "Fear is natural. Courage is not the absence of fear, Elias. Courage is moving forward despite it. That is what makes humans remarkable. That is why she trusted you and why I trust you now." Elias felt a surge of determination. He would not disappoint them. Not his mother, not the Queen, and not the galaxy that depended on the hope he carried. "I will not fail," he said firmly. "I will honor her sacrifice and I will protect the trust she gave us. I will do everything I can to bring peace between humans and Zirath." Sarathkal's wings shimmered faintly, and for a moment, she looked almost like the motherly figure Elias had longed for all his life. "Good," she said, "because your actions now will shape the future. The galaxy is watching. Every decision you make, every message you deliver will echo through generations. Humans and Zirath alike will feel the consequences of your choices." Elias inhaled deeply. He felt the weight of his mission pressing down, yet it no longer crushed him. Instead, it fueled him. He could see it clearly now. His mother's love, her courage, and her vision had not died with her. They lived on in him. He was her message, her legacy, and her hope given flesh. Over the next days, the Queen taught him the ways of the Zirath, their culture, their diplomacy, their philosophy. He studied their history and shared human knowledge with them. He learned how to speak not only with words but with gestures, with truth, and with heart. And as he did, he realized something profound. The greatest power humanity had was not technology, not weapons, not fleets of ships. It was their heart, their ability to care, to forgive, and to inspire others, even alien, to believe in goodness. One evening, as Elias walked through the palace gardens, the holographic image of his mother appeared from the capsule. She smiled at him, serene and proud. "You have grown, Elias," her voice echoed softly. "You carry more than words now. You carry my heart. You carry humanity's heart. Do not forget it. Do not let it be lost." Elias knelt beside the glowing image, tears streaming freely. "I won't, Mother," he whispered. "I promise. I will carry it. I will make you proud." The Queen appeared behind him, her massive hand resting gently on his shoulder. "You have already made her proud, Elias. By being human, by showing compassion, courage, and hope, you have reminded us all what it means to be alive. And that is something no war, no plague, no darkness can ever take from you." Elias stood and looked out at the horizon again. The alien city shimmered beneath the moons, but he no longer saw it as foreign or intimidating. He saw it as a place of possibility, a symbol of what humans and Zirath could achieve together. And he knew that his journey had just begun. He would return to Earth one day, to his people. He would carry messages of peace, lessons of hope, and the reminder that humanity's greatest strength was not in their weapons, but in their heart. But for now he would stay, learn and grow under the guidance of the Queen, carrying his mother's legacy through every action, every word and every decision. And in that moment, Elias Kane understood the true meaning of being human. It was not to fight, not to conquer, not to rule. It was to care, to love, and to inspire. It was to turn fear into courage, loss into hope, and tragedy into a future worth living for. The stars stretched endlessly above, but Elias no longer felt small. He was human, a simple messenger, yes, but also the keeper of a promise, the bearer of hope, and the living proof that even in the darkest corners of the galaxy, humanity could shine brighter than any sun, because in the end, it was the human heart, brave, compassionate,
and unyielding, that could change worlds.